Hey guys, this is Jon Bon Jovi and I'm with Pandora today. We're going to be taking some questions about the past, the present, and the future. So hang in there and we'll get it on. All right, here's the first one. Wow. What was the best Bon Jovi performance you've ever heard? That's a tough one. Um, I'll come back to that. We'll come back to that one. Who have you never done a duet with? Well, there's a lot of people I've never done a duet with. Who would I like to do a duet with? Let's see. I would love to write a song with Leonard Cohen or Tom Waits or Paul Simon, um, Damian Rice. That would be fantastic. Some of my favorite songwriters, great storytellers. Thank you. Okay. Talk about your first stadium show. Were you terrified? No, not really. You know, I think that we were very excitable in the very beginning. 1984, probably the first stadiums we played were in Japan. It was a big Japanese rock festival with Whitesnake, Anvil, the Scorpions, and the Michael Schenker Band. But you're just so happy to be out there at all. 50 people or 50,000 people is all the same to me. We've enjoyed those venues. All right, let's go with a blue one. When you're on stage looking out at a sea of people, what goes through your mind? If it's a good day, I'm really thinking about what we're going to do in the bar after the show. What restaurant are we going to go to to get something to eat? If I'm hearing anything on the stage, it means that somebody's made a little bit of a mistake. If I'm sitting there scrutinizing everything, it's usually because something has gone off the rails. I just get to such a place in a plane when I'm totally comfortable that I'm floating above the whole event, just taken by your energy, and your energy and our energy takes me to this place that I'm already past it, and then I just enter my body when it's all over. All right. If you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself 30 years ago? Well, I would have told myself that living on a prayer was perfect. There's no need to go to that key change at the end. And that's become a joke, but that's all it is a joke, folks. But it is very high notes to sing. And the fun of it is, had I been able to sit there and go, believe me, the song's good, it worked out. Thanks for that one. Any big projects out there that you want to tackle? Well, there's many of them, starting with the release of the new album tomorrow, by the way. This House is Not for Sale finally comes out tomorrow. Thank you for your support on that. We're working very hard at the JBJ Soul Foundation to alleviate hunger. Our restaurants, the JBJ Soul Kitchens, we could use your support there. Tackling the issue of hunger is something that we don't need the scientists to find a cure for. It just takes money and sweat equity. So that's something. And in the next few days, we're trying to get a president elected. So it's a busy week around here. And by the way, get out and vote. I don't even care who you vote for. You know who I'm voting for. But get out and vote. If you weren't a rock star, what would you be? Well, I don't know if I wake up in the morning and say I'm a rock star. I'm a singer in a rock and roll band who happens to have been doing it for a long time. But I really honestly would have been pretty happy in my hometown. My both parents were small business owners. They both had to work hard 6 days a week. I was quite comfortable in that environment if it didn't work out for me, because this was all there was, folks. There was no plan B. Fortunately, it worked out. I think it's the ambulance coming to take me away. If you can hear that across America, I'm sorry. Welcome to New York. Question is, how would things be different if you guys were in a band trying to make it today? You know, there's a lot that's different. But the promise of all this new technology with Pandora and playlists and streaming is much different, of course, than when I walked into this building 33 years ago. For us, it was about selling that vinyl record and getting out there and touring it. We had relationships with DJs that was how you broke in a city. Rock bands used to be able to establish themselves regionally, get a couple of DJs behind you, and then build support because of your live shows. A lot of that's different, and some of it's the same. But the promise of where we're at right now in this day, this time, this era, the future's bright. I think that the opportunity for the next Bob Dylan is out there now. And then you guys just got to find him. All right. You look good. Is rock and roll the fountain of youth? Ha! I don't know if I look good or if you're looking through rose-colored glasses. But thank you. You know, rock and roll, if it's your love, it'll keep you excited, that's for sure. Some days it makes me young, and some days it makes me very old. Yeah. But it's what I'd love to do for my entire adult life. And thanks to you, I get to keep doing it. All right, couple more. Looks like we're winding up. What's your most memorable tour? Well, each one has some great memories. The first one is always going to be your first one. Slippery When Wet was a rocket to success. I think that, well, Crossroads and the These Days tour, there were some moments in there because, once again, you know, we reinvented ourselves. Crush did that for sure. So we've had a number of memorable tours, thanks to you. We've enjoyed that. Thank you. How do you keep yourself motivated? That's a good question. You write a song and you're just naturally excited. So you want to see how it sounds on a record. And when you're able to record it with the band, it takes on a different life. And it's then that you decide that you're ready to share it with the world. Until tomorrow, even though some folks have heard a couple of the tracks and there's been some live versions of the songs out, tomorrow is going to be the first day that I get to share this piece of work with you. It's been 3 or 4 years really in the making. A lot of our sweat went into this one. We care very much about it. The motivation comes from our desire to do great, to make the best record we ever did. So when you love what you do, it's not hard to get motivated. What's the mark that I want to leave on the music industry? Well, I think that our integrity says a lot. We've been with one label for 33 years. I've had the loyalty of men at my side for all or most of it. I've had a fan base that have been along this journey for 30 plus years now. I think that that sense of community and optimism has shown through around the world for decades and now for generations. That message of optimism is something that you can use in your lives outside of music. Use it to do good in the world. What's the best thing about music today? Well, now, compared to 15 years ago, I think that this idea that the internet has caught up to the idea of getting music out gives artists the freedom to say what they want to say and be who they want to be. When they choose to do something and make it their own and not have to conform to radio or video or even record company restrictions. It just gives you this great freedom, and to me that gives you guys the great opportunity to reinvent the music business. So go do that for me. And I want to thank you all very much for your time. Don't forget to check out our radio station. It's called Runaway Radio, and it's available right now on Pandora. For a taste of the new album, This House Is Not For Sale, go there. Hear a bunch of our catalog. Definitely hear This House Is Not For Sale. And do me a favor and tune into Runaway Radio. Thanks to everybody at Pandora.